All right. Welcome to the sideboard, and it is Sunday, so it's Subscriber Sunday. Thank everyone for coming out tonight, or today, sorry. And we're going to be running some of your guys' decks, and you guys have definitely given us some really good decks to run. And we have one we didn't get to run from last week, so we're going to run that, and then we're going to run the top two voted decks from this week. So if you do like today's show, go ahead and give the Subscriber Sundays a thumbs up so other people will get to see your decks and see these decks, and it'll get in their feeds. That'll be great for everyone. You know, your deck will get out there. That'd be awesome. And if you like the show in general and you want to be able to subscribe or put your deck in our Subscriber Sunday show, you need to be a subscriber. So hit that button. And let's jump straight into our first deck here. And that is going to be Temur-A-Grow. Now this deck got the most votes, and it's a deck that I kind of butchered the last time we played it. So I'm actually really happy to get another chance at it. And one of our subscribers has sent us his version of it, and it looks really strong. The only thing I'm worried about is the 18 lands. I'm a little worried we won't actually have a green source on turn one. Maybe one or two of these should be like a Rootbound Crag or something, but we'll look at it, we'll play it, and I guess I should go over the overall gist of how I would like to do this. I hate to use this term, but I guess we're all stealing it from the guy in Hearthstone anyway. But I kind of want to deck doctor these. I want to do it as a community deck doctor, though. So we'll play the deck, and then as we play the deck, and granted, that's just going to be a vacuum. So anyone who posts your decks, don't take too much on the ideas that you get here, but it's first impression of a community of your deck. So take it with a grain of salt, but it is being played in just kind of one game. But we're going to play these decks. We're going to look at them as a community. We're going to see what people think about the decks, you know, the other subscribers. So please be active in chat. Tell us what you think of the different decks, and, you know, what you would add. What are your ideas for the deck? And granted, you know, those ideas may not be taken, but they might. And you may actually, you know, help us stumble onto something completely new. And that, my friends, is what Subscriber Sunday is about. So let's take a look at Temur-A-Grow, and this deck was submitted by, is it Nephilim? I think that's how you say that. Nelrim 54. Nelrim 54. Sorry, I was thinking of Nephilim, like I guess Diablo, but it is an energy deck. There's not a lot of energy in the deck, but there's a few pieces of energy. And those are Aether Hub, and mainly just attune with Ether. I don't really understand why we have to be in energy if those are the only two parts of the deck that are energy. I do like the fact that you know, you're turning one of your lands into a spell, so maybe that alone is where we want to be with that. But depending on, you know, how much energy we just have laying around with absolutely no way to use it or spend it, we might want to consider, you know, maybe something that would actually do that. Oh, Merlin back. See, no, that I like. All right, cool. Okay. Uh, Merlin backwards. Okay. Anyway, moving on down the land here, we have Botanical Sanctums, and then we have two of each of the basics. We have Forest, we have Island, and Mountains, of course. This is Temur, and then the last card being those 4 Spire Bluff Canals. Now let's look at the plethora of 1-drops in this deck. Now we've got 3 copies of Dive Down to help protect our creatures, making sure, you know, that they have yeah, you really want to be able to get the attune off, but the whole point of having attune as a spell, do we honestly want to be casting it on turn 1 without a creature, or do we just want it in the graveyard? I guess we'll have to play it and see how it feels. But we do have some dive downs to help protect our creatures. I'll go ahead and jump down farther here because we also have Blossoming Defense to help protect our creatures. Another good use of that green mana. And then After Dive Down, we have 4 copies of Opt. Yes, Manatraders did not send me 4 of the same Opt. They do not have yet, like, they do not yet have a way where you can, like, request the exact publication of it through the bot. It'll bring you whatever they have available, and that's gonna break my heart, like, the entire time we're playing this, if I see it in game. But anyway, we have Op, great card, built to smash here. This is going to be really good on our turn 1 Bomat Courier. Built to smash, letting him get through, letting him swing in against the, what would normally be a lethal blocker. So Bomat Courier and Built to Smash, that's Forrest and Jenny right there, peas and carrots. And then we have Soul Scar Mage. Now, Soul Scar Mage is a really good use for a lot of our other cheap removal cards, or even going straight to the face, and then we can get the Prowess trigger. So Soul Scar Mage, no, it's not a Monastery Swift Spear, but it's what we got and it's what we're going to use. But we do have 4 copies of Shock here and 4 copies of Lightning Strike to go along with that Soul Scar Mage. And as we're casting all of these non-creature spells, we're going to get more than just the Prowess triggers off of it. We're going to be getting triggers from Deeproot Champion and triggers from Firebrand Archer. Firebrand Archer, the 2/1 body, allowing you to get in, do that early pressure here while getting a couple extra ping damage from your spells. That's going to be clutch. I actually think I really like the idea of that card. And then 1 copy of Search for Azcanta in the main board. This is going to allow us to just continuously refill our hand. And with all of the 1-drop spells and the structure of the deck, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do some quick flips here. And then to top the curve off, the deck just tops off here with 3 copies of Enigma Drake. The deck only has 15 creatures in it total, but it's more of we're just going to chip them to death and then kind of finish them off with an Enigma Drake, is the way I'm kind of getting the way the deck's built. So let's take a look at the sideboard and some of the options he's got for us here. A lot of really cheap interaction here. We've got Spell Pierce, 3 copies of that, 2 copies of Chandra's Defeat, and then 3 Magma Sprays against anything that can bring back something with recursion. We're definitely going to be bringing in the Magma Sprays, but it can also pair with a Lightning Strike to make to finish off a god, like the Scarab God or something like that. So Magma Spray's got a lot of versatility here, and we don't have a lot of other ways to deal with things like that other than maybe Crook of Condemnation. Now, a braid is also going to be extremely good here because God Pharaoh's Gift, one of the best in the meta. So, and yeah, that's the reason Bomat is kind of here. I'm thinking is the discard. Well, it happened to us in one of the streams. I believe we were online. Someone just discarded like the last 3 spells they needed, and like Enigma Drake was then lethal. We were willing to take the hit, but yeah, it turned out bad for us. So it's good to see the Bomat was thrown in here. But that is our first deck, so let's jump straight into our first game. Alright, we're just going to jump straight into tournament practice. Looks like someone is there and ready, so we won't have to wait here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this giant preview panel here. We won the dice roll, so we will get to play first. No green, so yeah, that would have been that's I guess that's a little bit bad for us. I mean, we're gonna keep and Bomat and then Op next turn. So I mean, we'll be all right here. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep this. I like the Bomat, even though we don't have the green. I'm not that worried about the Attune here. And we'll get in with the Bomat and pass the turn. Ambrose, I am good. I am good. It is a it's I want to opt first here. Enigma Drake. Well, I really want that. We only have 3. I really want that. Yeah, we're going to take the Enigma Drake. We'll go ahead and just play our Bowmat protection here and get into combat. And then we'll just pass the turn. I mean, Enigma Drake's not huge, but hey, what opt on turn 1 for the opponent. Right? I mean, if I'm not going to have a forest to play my other cards, at least getting a Drake seems pretty decent. Let's go ahead and swing with Bowmat. I mean, if he's going to burn it, he's going to burn it. Bowmat getting in for 3 here. Well, we'll go ahead and play the Drake. We can strike shock next turn if we wanted to. Is there anything that... Is there a... Oh, no. Not the sensor. Well, at least Bowmat lives, I guess. We may just lightning strike, depending on what we draw. We'll see what we draw. Whirler. Firebrand Archer. So I want to just strike the Whirler now and see if he makes Thopter. He is going to make a Thopter. The question is putting another card under this Bowmat more important, like just getting rid of that Thopter? I kind of want to just shoot that Thopter, but then we're down. Or we could just wait a turn. If we go shields down, he definitely... I'm gonna leave shields up here. Next turn we may Firebrand Archer and then shock. Just depends on what he does. And depends on what we draw. Scavenger Grounds, not what we wanted to see. Improvise, Maverick Thopterist. Okay. Well, I'm going to use my mana here to kill the Maverick Thopterist. And we draw Firebrand Archer. Well, guys, I think it's time to trade these 3 out for 4. So we'll see if he moves to block. Of course he does. Double Drake Dive Down. Okay. Double Drake's not amazing with Scavenger Grounds on the battlefield, but if he has to Scavenger Ground... Oh, wow. Wow, alright. And I assume we take 2 here. We do. I don't think we shoot either one of them. Although we could just start going to the dome. Try to get him lower. I think we just play Drake and leave Dive Down up though. Yeah, we'll do that. No point in playing it first. He's tapped out. So now we'll play the island. And we'll just pass here. Yeah, probably. Like, that's... We'll see what happens here. We've always got game 2 and 3. I mean, he hit double Maverick here. So another thing I wanted to ask you guys about while we're waiting on our opponent is, what are your favorite classic video games? Um, Most of the music on the channel comes from classic video games, and it comes from OC Remix, and they have a plethora of classic video games. And I was just curious at what your guys' favorite video games are. So if you're watching this after the fact, post it in the comments. If you're watching this, now, just let me know here in the chat. What type of a third one? I mean, what are we supposed to do, guys? Start striking to the face? So I'm actually going to cast Strike and then swing. And I'm going to swing with the Enigma Drake here. And we'll see if he puts just one Thopter in front of it, or if he puts 4 Thopters in front of it. Okay, so he's just going to put 1, which is, pretty good for us. We were hoping to, eat a few of his Thopters. He's definitely got quite a few. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Okay. See, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Wow. Now he's going to Siren's Ruse, his Maverick Thopterist. Wow, what this? I haven't seen Decoction Module yet, but seems like this would be where it would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 8. Ooh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna block a Maverick Thopterist here. We'll take the 10. And I assume he's just going to sack the graveyard so that I can't like hit him back on the crackback for anything. Nope, he's going to play a Whirler. Okay, well. What do we has? Well, we're dead in the air. We're dead, period. Do we get one more draw? I think we get one more draw here. Depending on what he's got. He's got 3 cards in hand. If he can remove anything, then we're definitely just dead. He did not make a Thopter. Okay. Definitely think we get the extra draw then. So we get to see one more card. We are playing Temur-A-Grow by Reverse Merlin. Yeah, we're so dead here. What? He just doesn't attack? And we still don't have a green source. Still no green source. We can't attack. If he passes his turn again, though, I'm going to lightning strike him. Or maybe strike the whirler? I don't know. We definitely need him to swing. I don't know. We could just kill him if he makes the wrong play, but I don't see him doing it. What is this? Sunbird's Invocation. Okay. Wow. Do we strike? I'm going to go ahead and strike him, and we're going to go for like some weird burn plan here. Soulscar Mage. That does not exactly help us. And we will just pass the turn back, though. I don't think we can just burn him out, but we do have 2 more blockers for the ground units now, which means we aren't just dead. Is he digging? Oh, if we come back and burn this out. Oh wait, man, he's got all kind of combos here, don't he? So we need like Invigorating Rampage. I guess he's looking for which one of his 5 or less he wants to cast. So now we need like shock. it's risky. He gets a decoction module. Okay. And he's got 0 cards in hand, and he's already drawn. Okay. Oh, we don't have an artifact creature. Oh. So, what's the card that gives all creatures trample, draw a card? Yeah. Be highly interested in that in a world of chump blockers. There's got to be like a 1 mana give everything trample, draw a card. Well, it's instant speed, so let's see what he gets. Okay. He doesn't have enough mana to bounce it back and play. He does now. A second decoction module. And an opt. Yep, you get your dude. Yep, you get your energy. He opts. Decoction module. You got 1 other card? Okay, well, we've definitely got to do something here. Alright, so we block. Need something good off the top. Key to the City. Driven to Despair would be good, yeah. We're going to be playing that in another card. Crash Through. Okay, is that the name of it? Is there I'm pretty sure there's I think I pulled it up in one of the other decks. Blossoming Defense. Well, we're dead here on next turn when he just swings in, so let's turn everything sideways and see what happens. So he makes a Thopter. He can make a bunch of Thopters. Yeah, we're dead anyway here. I mean, we were dead on Crackback, so this is our last chance to give him a mistake. Well, I mean, yeah, we're dead on the Crackback, but it's definitely interesting. Like, we kill almost all of his stuff. We can't cast this. Um cool. Maybe we should have just put it here to save this guy. One green land. Definitely would have changed things. Boom. Well, good game, good game. Let's go ahead and get into game 2 here. What would we have drawn? Come on, you know you want to see that. A land. Search for Azcanta. Another land. Yeah. Alright, so let's jump into the sideboard here. Okay, so against his deck, I mean, kind of like Riddle Form, it'd be hard to remove. Chandra's Defeat is terrific. I actually like it over, say, Dive Down. Riddle Form gives us a flyer. A Braid let us destroy some of those artifacts of his. So I'm gonna back off on Built-A-Smash. Spell Pierce might be really good. He's got a lot of big artifacts that he has to kind of cheat down. So let's say Spell Pierce over Dive Down and Blossoming Defense. That leaves us with one Blossoming Defense, two Blossoming Defense. We'll keep two Blossoming Defense. Okay. The other option was to bring in the Magma Sprays. Alright, we're on the play. Here we go. Ouch! We can play things, though. No green land, so that land doesn't really count. It's a good-looking hand, though. We get to come out with a Soul Scar Mage. We get to shock the first thing, defeat something. I'm gonna mulligan it. Ay, ay, ay. So this is the kind of hands we're gonna get with 18 lands, right? Like, the more I mulligan, the worse this gets. At least we have a Scry now and an Opt. We're gonna put it on the bottom. We're gonna dig for land. I think that first hand was better, but we'll opt it end of turn. Okay, we will put that on top. And we get an attune. All right. I'm going to just play the Deep-Root Champion, and we'll attune next turn. Oh, okay, he's gonna. I was like, how's he gonna counter? Well, see, that's the scary thing. Like when you run those few lands, the more you mulligan, the worse it gets. Mulligan decisions there become crazy. So 18 lands worries me, but if you're comfortable with playing, I'm going to take this opening 7, and this is what we're going to take. Maybe 6, but I sure wouldn't be going to 5 with 18 lands. I mean, these don't count if you don't have a green. So if anything else, might want to solidify the green sources in the deck so that these are never dead. I think that's something we're going to have to look into. Okay, well, unfortunately, we don't get to get a trigger here. Alright, we have our green source. We only need the one green source. We have blue. Let's get a second red in case we need to, do things. Alright, well, we'll play that. Next turn we can abrade and opt and whatever. Maybe just Enigma Drake. Hopefully we can start crashing in for 2 here. This is your deck, right, Jeffrey? Okay. He's got a Whirler and 6 energy. I guess it really just depends on what we draw and what we do here. Pretty sure we're going to be casting Opt either way. That's awesome, man. That tell your boys I said hi, or I guess if they're watching, hey boys. Glad you guys like Magic. I was telling Jeffrey on Reddit that I can only imagine trying to maintain 3 decks. Since we have another red and another blue, I'm going to leave open the option for this green source here. We'll use the Opt here off of the Spirebluff Canal. Come on, something. I don't know. I don't even know what we were looking for. Land? Sure. Do we want land? It comes in tap. We're not going to get to do anything special with it. Let's put it on the bottom and take a chance. Hey, there we go. So now we can abrade and spell pierce. I'm definitely going to just go ahead and abrade this thing while he's tapped down. If he makes Thopters, then hey, then we'll pass the turn. If he doesn't make Thopters, then we'll swing. So he's going to make 1 Thopter? 2 Thopters, alright. Well, we will not be swinging. I'm not trading my dude for a single Thopter. I'll get more points of damage just by casting spells. I don't maintain 3 good competitive decks, but actually this season I have. I've got my Grixis mid-range in paper. I've actually had to borrow Glorybringers and Chandras for that deck. But, oh wow, I should have countered the second one there. Ah, another land. Okay, well, We'll throw down the Enigma Drake and swing. Now we'll see what he wants to cast. I'm really wanting to stop one of these big 5 or 6 mana spells he's got. So I have mono black aggro on paper, and I have Grixis mid-range, and then I have my Modulatron deck, but that deck costs like 30 bucks. It's really cheap, so I don't really consider that being a competitive deck that I'm hanging on to. Wow, it's just so many Thopters. If you're going to be playing... so this is definitely going to be one takeaway we'll get from this vacuum, if you will, is if you think anyone's playing any type of Whirler decks at your meta, then you might want to think about Trample. So if this is the deck that like you're playing at your meta, then definitely consider Trample. Well, he actually just took that 4. Is he going to try to race us? I mean, he's got 6. He kept the card. He did not put it in his graveyard. Well, there's always next week, Trevor. Oh, the burn list. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I did see the burn list. Well, we're gonna take a couple points here. I would honestly like to see some burn off the top. And I guess he spends the end of turn bouncing this back to his hand. I mean, that's what I would do if I was in his spot. Like, if he didn't have to do anything else, just bounce this end of turn, play it again next turn. Yep. I probably should have swung for this extra 2 here because but he would have just blocked and bounced. So it wouldn't have mattered. It would have shown that we knew what he was up to, though. Show of confidence. Scott, are you the one that put the John Hapatra list together? Like the one that's on the Reddit. So that's you? Perfect. I really like that list, and depending on the votes it gets, we're probably going to be playing that next week. I really like it, and I'm hoping everyone else will too. It again, you know, I'm kind of new to that neg 1/1 counters, and oh man, he's just gonna keep bouncing this and playing it, bouncing and playing. That's so good. Now we're getting to mini land. So he definitely called my bluff. Yeah, it's totally dead. He's just gonna keep. He didn't bounce that time, but he probably should have. Just bounce and play, bounce and play. We can't even pierce it. Ah. Excuse me. Another land. I think we're done for here, fellas. Yeah, these little things coming, they're gonna be bad. He's at 4, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Why would you ban an opt? Opt would let you draw an additional card. I am spell piercing the next non-creature spell he plays no matter what. Yeah, we're dead. All right. Well, let's get back over here to the deck and let's take a look at it. So, I don't like green in the deck at all. Like, if we took the green out, what would we get? So, before, when I was just looking at the deck, I'd pulled a couple cards that I thought were kind of nice here. And I actually cut down on the Bomat Couriers to 2. I got rid of the Built to Smash for Crash Through because Whirler. Mainly because of Whirler. Not because of the action we just seen, but mainly because of Whirler. And then I think Nightbot just called your deck jank. Search for Escanta, I like it. But honestly, if we just drop the green altogether, would we be more consistent? So just go to like 21 lands period and just drop green altogether, and then just keep your really cheap interactions. It might give you a few extra bodies or something like that. You could go up on the dive down to keep the hexproof, but other than that, I just think that the deck is actually a red-blue deck, and when we try to add green just for this, is this in your testing? How have you felt about Deeproot Champion? I know every one of the Temur-A-Grow decks that I've looked into, everyone said that this was like the weakest card in the deck. That it was so bad. Right, Sweltering Suns in the sideboard, or at least the one that that doesn't kill pirates or something like that. That might be good. I like it with Soulscar Mage because Soulscar Mage like instantly becomes 3 power when you cast it, and then it'll put 2 -1 counters on everything. So honestly, I really like Fiery Cannonade with Soulscar Mage if you're looking for a board wipe. Instant speed as well. If you're running Soulscar Mage, I would like that. Honestly, the deck might be better served black versus green. If we're not running green for any of the major reasons to be in green, which would be like destroying an enchantment or something like that, then like we have no enchantment removal here. If we're only green for a few Deeproot champions and Attune with Ether and Blossoming Defense. Now I know your version has a few more Deeproot champions here, but if we're only green for these cards, and those cards aren't just phenomenal for us, maybe we should go in a different direction. So I think that's what how I feel about the interaction here. I think that the Spire Bluff Canals are actually what you want because your turn 1's not going to come in tapped. So let's embrace the fact that we are a red-blue deck and not like really come off of that. And again, this is just from one game, like one game played with it. But I have played the Temur-A-Grow version, like a couple versions of it in the past, and I just never was impressed by the Deeproot champion. So maybe play around a little bit with red blue. And I like not topping out, not going up into 3 or 4 and 5 drops. I actually really like that. It allows you to run 20, 21 lands and be confident that you you're going to survive off of only hitting 2 mana. You're going to be able to cast something every turn. So Storm Tamer might be awesome. You're honestly right. Siren Storm Tamer might be terrific. Gives you a little body that's getting in the air, and he would be. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's it. Replace Blossoming Defense with Siren Storm Tamer. It'll give you the Blossoming Defense effect, but Storm Tamer is a counter spell. It'll counter anything that's targeting. It'll put you into more of a less pumps, but that would probably also free you up to keep your Built-A-Smash, and then you could probably squeeze in something else here in this slot with Storm Tamer coming in. By the way, Storm Tamer counters Settle the Wreckage, so maybe go that route. That seems really good. I like where the community's going with it. Invigorating Rampage seems like it's extremely strong, but 1 mana to just cast a card and then draw a card is where I was going at with the not Built-A-Smash, Crash Through, because it also a cantrip. Will add an extra power to the Enigma Drake, draw another card for just 1 single mana, and it gives all of our creatures trample. Where'd it go? All of the creatures get trampled, not just 1 or not just 2. Let's see. Honestly, if you were going to stay in Temur, maybe a single Samet or something to give it double strike, but again, you would want some trample. With the Whirlers in the format right now, you got to be able to get through an infinite amount of blockers. You just have to pretend like there's a couple things we got to do in Standard right now, and one of those is you got to be able to survive the turn 2 Cub. Can your deck Cub check? Yes, your deck can Cub check. It can Cub check. Your deck can do that. Can your deck get through 1/1s? No. That's where we're having a problem. So we got to be able to get through 1/1s. If you did stick around with green, maybe think of a couple Ronuses in the sideboard. If they have Whirlers and things like that, bring in 2 or 3 Ronuses out of the sideboard and go, oh, I'm getting over. I'm getting through. Blazing Volley for the Thopters, there you go. But after you cast it, they can still make a Thopter. So, but it may be a really good answer. You need something that's going to kill the Whirler and the Thopters, because then they can just let the ones they have die and make some new ones after the Blazing Volley. So I don't know if that will work, but I know a couple Ronuses in the sideboard if you're going to stick in the green, to just bring those in out of the sideboard and say, okay, I've got my trample now, big boy. I think Fiery Cannonade does well, and I agree with you, Jensen. And I just really like Fiery Cannonade's interaction with Soulscar Mage. Yeah, exactly, exactly. With Soulscar Mage, the Whirler gets neg 1, 2 of them, actually. Well, okay, so the Whirler would get neg 1, neg 1, neg 1 in the volley, and it would still have a 1 power. So, I mean, it could block Firebrand, but it doesn't die. And if it doesn't die, it's still around to use its ability after the volley resolves. And that would be the worry there. Again, the only thing that I would really, really like to add to the deck is the word trample on this big dude somehow, some way. However you decide you want to put that there, that would be my major advice, is find a way to give your your giant dudes some type of trample, or to at least make sure they can't block. It may just be Key to the City. Key to the City would allow you to throw a card into the graveyard, and it would also trigger Prowess when you cast it. When you cast the key, then you could throw a card in the graveyard, which would make Enigma Drake bigger, I don't know, and it would make him blockable. So maybe Key. Again, though, don't know how much I feel about the green. So that's pretty much all I've got for this deck. Let's move on into our next deck here. And this one's going to be a lot of fun, I think. And it's Madcap Experiment Gift. And if you want to see the deck list itself, the link is in the description box below. Let's see here. This deck was submitted by Optimo 1972. So Optimo, thank you for your submission. I wanted to get to this deck last week, but we didn't get around to it due to some technical difficulties. So definitely wanted to make sure that we got it this week. It's a lot like the Modo Reanimator deck that we built recently with the Modo Gearhulks. However, it has a different trick at getting things online, and the deck is a little bit more on God Pharaoh's Gift than I was. I actually didn't like the God Pharaoh's Gift because with the Lilianas, I was planning on bringing my combustible Gearhulks back multiple times. You can't really do that with God Pharaoh's Gift, but this gives us an additional way to just quickly cheat one out, and we don't necessarily have to have it in the graveyard yet. So here we go. The deck itself, pretty much straightforward. It's a lot like the deck that we were running last week. However, there's a couple little interactions that he's got with it that we didn't have in that one, and that's Blood Rage Brawler. When he enters the battlefield, we get to discard a card. Now, this kind of works like our Tormenting Voice, only instead of getting another card for the card we discard, we're going to get that 3/4 body. And then Cathartic Reunion, that was in the deck. And then Abrade, just a really good card to help us get through with. Sunscourge Champion, I kind of like this interaction because of bringing Sunscourge Champion back. You have to discard a card, and that's kind of where we want to be if we have a God Pharaoh's Gift out. Sweltering Suns, we can cycle it if we don't need it. If we do need it, then we'll use it there. And then Refurbish, what can I say? I mean, God Pharaoh's Gift, Refurbish, again, these cards have been played together a lot recently, and they have created a tier 2 deck, or tier 1.5 deck in the meta right now. So until we start playing Negate's main board, God Pharaoh's Gift is here. Anyway, Madcap Experiment, the new interaction here. Reveal the top card of your library and reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Madcap Experiment deals damage to you equal to the number of cards revealed this way. So we start flipping cards off the top of our library until we hit an artifact, and then take that much damage. So we need to have a lot of artifacts, and turn 5 is where those really start coming in. From here on out, we've got 2 Angels of Invention, because that card is absolutely terrific with God Pharaoh's Gift, and then we have all artifacts from here forward. 2 Cataclysmic Gearhulk, it's just kind of a board wipe for us. 4 Noxious Gearhulk, 4 Combustible Gearhulks, and 4 God Pharaoh's Gift. That is the rest of the deck. These are the artifacts we're wanting to hit, and we're going to try to cheat those out on turn 4. We're going to try to cheat those back from the graveyard on turn 4. So, one or the other, we're going to try to get either a God Pharaoh's Gift down or a Combustible Gearhulk and draw some cards. We do have the ability to instant kill here. Any 2 of our Gearhulks and a God Pharaoh's Gift is 20 damage. So, we do have those options. In the sideboard, we've got 3 copies of Authority of the Consuls, a second Abrade, a couple Forsake the Worldlies. I like this because we did need a way to deal with some enchantments. Solemnity, the card wants to be great, and this might be the perfect place to have it in the sideboard. So Solemnity, and then we have Cast Out, of course. Cast Out's a really, really good card. Answer absolutely anything, and if we need to cycle it, we can. Ixalan's Binding, another answer to all things, and once you answer it, they will not be casting it again. And Settle the Wreckage. So when our opponent realizes that we're a pretty slow deck and we have to kind of pass turn anyway, Settle the Wreckage is going to be really good for us. And Fumigate. Fumigate, a card that we're not as scared of as our opponent will be, even though we might have the most beefy creatures on the battlefield. Probably willing to just wipe the board anyway, as we have a good way of getting those back. Now, that's the deck, and if you guys watched the Mardu Gearhulks list that I ran, it's a lot like this deck, only we've got some gambling going on in this one. So, yeah, let's get to it and see what happens here. And Jeffrey, I hope I did some honor to your deck, even though we just got hammered by Whirler Virtuosos. But thank you for submitting your deck so that we could see it. I did pick the minor deck. The minor deck was at the top of the list this morning when I checked. I like this. We're gonna get to Cathartic Reunion. We're gonna get to Brawler on 2. Uh, yeah, I like it all. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. I love Reanimator decks. I said the other day when someone asked me what my favorite archetype was, and I said Tempo. If I was able to go back and change that statement, I would say Reanimator. I love being able to cheat things into play. So Reanimator's always been fun for me. Don't necessarily like Dredge, but Reanimator, definitely. Well, we will go ahead and throw down our Blood Rage Brawler. Now, the question is, which one of these do we reveal to him first? God Pharaoh's Gift? Noxious Gearhulk? Cataclysmic Gearhulk? I mean, we're going to discard the other two next turn with Cathartic Reunion, but this turn we'll discard the Cataclysmic. Wow, 4-3 on 2. I like it. Well, that is one of my favorite parts. What you just said there, Trevor, you know, like the fact that you've waited to see this type of deck and things like that. That's one of my favorite parts of our subscriber Sundays. You guys have so many more ideas than I could come up with by myself. As a community, we can come up with these things. We can talk about these cards. A lot of things we can do here. Pyro? Okay. So he's just going to burn us for 2? No! We didn't get a land? Okay, well. The race is on then. Deal with our 4-4. I mean, our 4 power dude. Well, test it a little bit first. And again, remember, the only thing we did was we played one game and ran into what might be a significant flaw in the strategy in the current meta. Whirler was not really great, you know, a month ago. Well, we're just going to pass. But all of a sudden, you know, the Infinite Thopter deck came along, the Module John deck came along. Everyone was like, wow, you know, Artificers. I'm playing Craig Wesco. he built that daggum Artificers deck, and now we've been dealing with this ever since. So, oh no, like, just no land. How many land do we run in this thing? 24 land, okay. So it's just, this is just happening to us. We're not dead though, I mean. Hungry Flames, I like Hungry Flames. Correct. I definitely think that was like the worst thing that could happen to Miracle-Gro was Whirler. And unfortunately though, there's actually a lot of Whirlers getting played right now. Okay. Well, we ain't blocking, so You may cast an instant sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost. Hey, there's a Glory Bringer, and so he's. This is brutal. Wildfire Eternal. Can't believe no one has submitted a Wildfire Eternal deck. Hey, we hit it. Now look, as much as I want to cast the experiment, I am going to just refurbish back this God Pharaoh's gift and get Noxious Gearhulk. And we're going to gain some life here. I think I'm going to take the Wildfire Eternal. Yep, we'll use the ability. I mean, yeah, Glorybringer is going to get to kill us next turn. Ay, ay, ay. How do we do this? Okay. Well, it'll be there for next week. So if people, I gotta figure out a way to go through these decks and be like I'll have to post just something on it that we played this deck. So we won't have to. I won't have to worry about like more people voting on it, because people may still vote on your deck because your deck's good. So. Even though we've played it, even if it continues to get votes, we won't play it again. But thank you for submitting it. Karizev, okay, well, he played a creature and he has to get rid of one of them. Oh, that's good. That is good right there, guys. So we're actually just going to play our brawler. Okay, he shocks us. We're okay with that. Brawler triggers. We're going to discard an angel. I'm actually going to go ahead and kill that Karizev. And then we're going to move into combat. I'm going to grab the angel here. Wow. We'll add the +1/1 counters. Get into combat. And pass the turn. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? The power of the God Pharaoh's gift. Yeah. I'm sorry we haven't cast the Madcap yet. I want to, but we were at a risky health. We will now. 5 mana, what do you got? Another Glorybringer? I ain't scared. Okay, alright. Is it time to just play Angel? Nah, we're alright. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're doing it. Noxious Gearhulk off the top. Oh yeah. I'll take it. Bye-bye, Glorybringer. Yes, we would love to use said ability. What do we get? I think I want a brawler. This is so good, guys. Alright, so we get a brawler. He enters the battlefield. He's got haste. And we're going to discard an angel. Oh, no. I didn't swing. I've got to remove my buttons from my mouse. So I got to put them back on my keyboard. I've got to put them back on my keyboard. I don't think we can lose this anyway, but this is too good. This just went like from us about to die to get wrecked. Do we even have? Yeah, we do. And yeah. we I know I punted. I know like the button punted. Bloodwater Entity and Torrential Gearhulk. That's the combo we need to play. We need to play Razakaf Bloodwater Entity with Boneyard Parlay. It's so expensive to play, but you can just, sack the Bloodwater Entity to go get the Boneyard Parlay off the top of your graveyard, and you just take whichever pile they put the Bloodwater Entity in. Alright, beginning the sideboard here. He's red deck, so what do we want? Like, Authority? Settle? Cast out? Fumigate? Do we care? I mean, he's red burn. He's a burn deck. He's definitely a burn deck. I don't like that there's no side. I'm just running it back. I actually think we're pretty well set for a burn deck. I doubt it's going to be a soon-to-be top 8 deck, but I actually think it's definitely floating around the same area that Marionette Master is, that those decks are. Like, this deck's extremely strong, and the amount of power it can put out is ridiculous. This is the worst hand you could possibly get. All the things. Still gonna keep it. Herald of Anguish is really good. I actually think that the Tribal Construct, like the base of that, is actually good enough that it could support quite a few different strategies. That's a really good little aggro base. I mean, I put my Pia's Revolution in it, and man, I've had a lot of fun with that deck. I know. I get that I'm going to have to discard some stuff I don't want to, but oh well. I mean, it's combo. Oh, alright. Well, we got some stuff to discard, so come on, Cathartic Reunion. Yeah, I'm going to discard... No, I'm not discarding the champion. I want something to do next turn. I'm going to discard a Madcap Experiment and a God Pharaoh's Gift. Look at this blue mana. We got our lands. We got our lands. So next turn we go Sunscourge Champion, gain 2 life. Probably just an early Madcap. We don't have creatures here. Like, I wanted to throw this away so I'd have a creature, but I'm gonna see if I can leave it up to him to make me have a creature. It's also why I want a Madcap instead of God Pharaoh's Gift. I don't want a God Pharaoh's Gift and leave it out for an Abrade to get. And we're at 17 life, so we can risk it. Although we won't be by the time turn 4 gets here. This is just turn 3. Lightning Strike! Not at 17 anymore, are we? Oh, there's Big Daddy. Big Daddy Combustible himself. Well, we'll gain our 2 life and pass the turn here. I mean, we can at least block Ragabond. Bloodwater Entity. I guess he gets him a Lightning Strike back, so we know he's drawing Lightning Strike back next turn. Well, that's the thing, Trevor. Like, I wanted to cast it last game, but we were just in this weird situation where we're like, okay, we can cast it after we get this down, and it is. It's like, do I just die here? What goes on? What's gonna happen? So we just take one here. This ain't bad. Maybe he's got a shock to kill this. No shock, or unless we're gonna see it late. Let's do it. Flip 'em. Hey, there's a noxious Gearhulk. I'm actually just going to kill Karizev. And we're going to swing for 2. We are at 3 life. 3 life. How much did we take for that? Yikes. Oh, wow. Alright, actually, I have to swing. I mean, I can't block the flying prowess, dude. And he's going to be able to lightning strike me next turn? We're dead. He just goes lightning strike, swing. 6. Eat it. So, Madcap Experiment just murdered us. Murdered. This is why you don't play it. Alright, whatever. Next game. You gonna swing? Of course he's gonna swing, right? All you gotta do is do it, dude. Just turn it sideways. We'll move the damage in game 3. Wow, alright, alright. Madcap was dangerous. He doesn't have haste. I still don't see any reason to change it up. It was a real sketchy hand anyway, but wow, going 12 cards deep to get to our first artifact was not what we wanted to see there. This hand is absolutely horrible and would be terrific with 1 land. So we're gonna mulligan it. No, it's getting worse. Alright, we can keep that. I don't think this is what I want. I want something else, even though that might have been terrific. I want, like, Cathartic Reunion. Or, bro, I need to be able to discard. Although that might have been what I needed. Hey, hey, hey. Hazard's Undying Fury. I'm not extremely familiar with that. Alright, whatever. Another Cathartic Reunion would be nice. Yes, this is a Mardu deck. We're hitting the lands. Burn us. Burn. Oh wow, or like, what's the delay on the stream? Okay, well, he gets a Bloodwater Entity, and we hit it. Unfortunately, we don't have a creature in the graveyard, so we're at 18 life. Are you ready? Here we go. 18 to 13, Combustible Gearhulk. Gamble time for you, mister. We gamble, you gamble. What do you got? Okay. Fervor sounds really good. He give them to us. All right, cool. We now have a 6/6 first striker that if he abrades, then yeah, I'm okay with that. I love this card. Like, just getting it down is so good. We've kind of top decked just about everything we've needed here. Okay, alright. Walking Ballista for the opponent. Come on. Are you getting in for 2? Okay. So, the deck is Mardu, but there's no way to actually cast this. Casting a Sweltering Suns. What? We don't really have anything else to do. Like, bringing back Godpharaoh's Gift is useless. We don't even have a creature in the graveyard. At least here we get to slap him for 6. That's right. Gearhulk at the face. Originally, when this deck was posted, my one criticism was I hate having a card in a deck that I have absolutely no chance at casting whatsoever. So that's my answer to, like, I'll preemptively tell you my thoughts on this deck. Just give me black mana and then we'll call it cool. Like, I like the deck. Oh, look, we top decked another one we can't use. I'm going to spend my mana here. We're just going to go ahead and bring it back. If he destroys it, then we'll bring it back again some other turn. I mean, we're definitely putting him on having to do something. Right? Aether Hubs. Anything. I just don't like having a card that if I'm relying on the heart of the cards, the top deck, and if you guys have watched me, you know I do a lot. I rely on that top deck to save me. If the deck's built right, then you should be able to get top decks all day, every day. Like, that's the way I feel that it should be. Good deck construction is the reason people have good top decks. So, you know, I'm a firm believer in the top of your library can definitely save you. If you have no way at all to cast this, you're putting dead top decks in your deck. Like, you're putting cards that are just guaranteed to be dead. And that's not always cool. I wouldn't mind a land here, though. So we could just play this combustible. We know we draw 3 cards off the combustible. He can't risk it. Well, we'll do that now. What do you got, fella? Censor? You're not gonna censor it, are you? Okay. Alright, he's just gonna burn us. Like, that's pretty decent for next turn. This is terrific for next turn. Oh yeah, this is gravy. Nothing. So my Mardu Gearhulks list uses Liliana and only like 2 copies of these now. I actually cut down on this because I'm always just ripping the few creatures I have right out of the graveyard. And man, he's trying to get us down to burn range, but I think we come back here. If he's got a Glorybringer though, we probably just did. There it is. There's the Glorybringer. Yeah, we we didn't have an out to that anyway. Well, that was pretty cool. We killed ourselves in game 2 with the Madcap experiments, and then, but the deck is extremely powerful, and that's my answer. Like, so let's look at this Mardu Gearhulks list, which actually it's not Mardu. This is actually a Boros Gearhulk that has no way to cast those cards that were in our hand. We had 3 of them, so I mean that was actually a really good showing of what I was afraid of. I'm not going to say that my Mardu Gearhulks is just, terrific, but I do like the idea of being able to just bring your Gearhulks back over and over and over again. Sweltering Suns does belong in the deck. I like it. And if you're not wanting to gamble and you're actually wanting to try to make this deck competitive, your Gearhulks have haste with your Cultivator's Caravan and things like that. Being able to get them through unblocked, absolutely terrific. Being able to discard cards, awesome. Just absolutely awesome. And again, the Godpharaoh's Gift in the deck is not exactly what I was looking for, so I've actually removed it from my version of Gearhulk control here. And again, I only run the 24 lands, and I do rely on Cathartic Reunion. I'm interested in the Brawler after what I just seen. So I also like drawing 2 cards, but I would move Sweltering Suns to my sideboard for a Brawler after that. I really did like the Brawler in the deck. Brawlers give me something else to think about because it's one of the few things we didn't have a lot of interaction with early in the game. If we're not discarding cards, then we're not doing anything. And Brawler was just, it was great. So, that's kind of where the deck might end up going. I liked Brawler, and I probably liked that more than anything else. Gambling was fun, but I wouldn't try to do it if I wanted to win, F&M. If I wanted to go to F&M and play with the guys, I don't think that I would be doing, these gambling decks unless I was just going to F&M to do, like, literally have fun. Like, flip it up, look at your opponent, and go, hey, I'm going to take a gamble. I just took 12 damage, but I got a combustible Gearhulk. Your turn. Do you want to gamble or not? That's fun. That can be a lot of fun. So I'm not going to say no to the card. And yeah, it's going to cheat in a massively huge Gearhulk. So I like it. I like the card. I like it, and it makes me think about Indomitable Creativity in a Gearhulk list. What could we do early game to create a couple creatures or blockers that we could sack to Indomitable Creativity, and the only creatures or artifacts in our deck would be Gearhulks or Godpharaoh's Gift. So maybe I like it. I like where you got me brewing anyway. So Oliver 1972. I think that was it. Was that right? Man, I probably butchered it again, didn't I? Optimo 1972. Optimo 1972. Thank you so much for submitting your deck, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to play and to just boom, here's a Gearhulk, get some. That's pretty cool. I like it. I like the explosiveness of it. You could, but in that one game, Black Gearhulk's exactly what saved us by gaining the life and removing a blocker. Metalwork Colossus doesn't exactly remove a blocker. I would rather just turn some of these multitudes of basic lands here into black land and keep it the way it is, but be able to cast your Gearhulk. I like being able to cast the cards in the deck. That's all. Alright, well, that is our first 2 decks. We've got one more deck to go. I'm going to leave you guys here with the deck for just a minute. I will move it so like you don't have to look at the lands. But I'm going to go refill the coffee cup, and we'll be back for our last game of Subscriber Sunday. This deck is sure to be some fun. So, leave you guys for about 3 minutes here, and that's about how long it takes me to brew with the Keurig, you know. And we'll get some coffee, and we'll be right back and play some more games here. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes, okay? I'll turn the music up. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Everyone that has joined the stream, thank you so much for coming out for Subscriber Sunday. This is our last deck of Subscriber Sunday, and this is Flashing Miners. Or is it wrong to flash miners? So Flashing Miners is a deck that works off of a combo like so many of the other decks we have played today. People like combo and they like to present their combo decks, but this is a deck that uses Decoction Module for additional energy, and it can gain that additional energy with cards like Winding Constrictor, which will give you 2 every time a creature enters the battlefield. And then we may pay 2 to exile Aether Geode Miner, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So technically we can, just with this 3-card combo here, we can infinitely start bouncing our Aether Geode Miner. Now, because we're not casting it, we're not going to be able to draw cards off of it. But every time that we gain an energy, we can get an additional +1 counter, which will allow us to basically infinitely grow either, say, a Walking Ballista or anything else. Anything that would be attacking. It wouldn't matter. We'll just grow it and go from there. Now, we don't actually have to have Winding Constrictor down. We could just have 2 copies of the Decoction module. We could have quite a few different things down and go off. So even though it is kind of magical Christmas land, it's not that far-fetched and should actually show to be a little bit competitive here. I'm actually really excited about this little combo. Now, we've got a couple extra things we can do with all this additional energy. We can remove, say, Hazoret from the game by giving him -1/1 counters. We can draw additional cards, which, that's always my favorite thing to do, drawing more cards. Um, I just read your coffee comment, Trevor. Cheating my coffee out like Gearhulks. Um, so I actually can't. I think the Keurig pods just cost way too much, so I use a refillable pod and then my favorite brand of coffee or whatever my choice for that week is. Um, this week we had a coupon for some caramel coffee, and it's a little sweet, but I like it. Anyway, moving on, we've got Architect of the Untamed. Now, this is a card that you don't see played, but when a land enters the battlefield, you get an energy, and you may pay, what is that, 8 energy to create a 6/6 colorless beast artifact creature token. So if we do start going off, if we have 2 decoction modules and a Winding Constrictor down, we have infinite energy, at which point we start making infinite 6/6 beast tokens. We have other crazy cards like Aetherstorm Rock. I didn't even know this card existed, but this is a great way to spend your energy. When it attacks, you can pay 2 mana. If you do, tap down there, dude. Put a +1/1 counter on on your rock. That's terrific. And then one of the cards that I am most thrilled to play about, and I know a lot of you guys like it too, is Driven to Despair. Until the end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. But wait, that's not all, folks. In the words of Billy Mays, RIP, rest in peace, sir. Anyway, Aftermath on Driven is Despair, and until end of turn, creatures you control gain Menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. So for 4 mana, we can get in, draw a couple cards, and make them discard a couple cards. Looks like a lot of value to me. We can protect our cards with Shapers of Nature, or at least replace them. We can draw additional cards with Lifecrafter's Bestiary, and we can remove threats with Cast Out or Walking Ballista. We definitely got some interaction with Walking Ballista and Fabrication Module and all the Enter the Battlefield triggers. So this looks like it'll be an extremely fun deck, and I am tickled to death to be playing Abzan, guys. We've been Abzan. We haven't played Abzan in like forever, so I really like this deck, and we're going to see where it goes. So Authority of the Consuls in the sideboard here. 4 copies of Duress, an additional Fatal Push in case we need a little extra removal, couple Crooks to deal with those graveyard shenanigans, Consulate Surveillance here. I'll read this card because I had to earlier when I looked at it. When Consulate Surveillance enters the battlefield, you get 4 energy. You can pay 2 energy, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you by a source of your choice. Wow. Okay. Like, you can do this in response to a lot of things, and this is really interesting. If we prevent all damage dealt by a Hazoret at the beginning of their draw step, he can't swing at us. He can't like do anything that turn. He'll have to actually wait till the next turn before that Hazoret can even discard a card to hurt us. That's value. And then the better way to deal with Hazoret, just 3 copies of Ixalan's Binding. Well, that is the deck, and this deck was presented to us by, I think he's right here in chat, Unlaundered Wrench. Winch? Yeah? Unlaundered Winch? Well, Jansen, is this your deck? I think this is Jansen's deck. Well, the list that was given to me is a 61 card deck, and this was the card that was floating at the bottom. So I don't know what to remove from the deck. Honestly, it might be one of the fabrication modules, but I don't know exactly what we should remove to get it down to 60. Maybe a rock. Just go with or 2 rocks. Okay, so Shapers was a maybe card. I'll tell you what I would like to do with Shapers. I would like to put Shapers in the sideboard and remove 1 Duress. 3 Duresses and a Shapers seems like it would be smooth. So if you guys are alright with that, I'm going to make that change. We'll do this against anything that has removal and things like that. I like Shapers, so seems good, and we'll run it like this and see what happens here. So flashing miners here. We'll just post up a game and see what we got. I think the deck's going to be a lot. Granted, I haven't had a chance to play it, but I think the deck's going to be a lot of fun. So while we're waiting here, well, we got an opponent. I was going to say, if you have a deck and you want that deck to be played on our Subscriber Sunday, there's a couple things you need to do. The first thing you need to do is you got to hit that subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, I'm not running your deck for Subscriber Sunday. It's simple as that. And the other, what, really? Okay, well, the other thing is you need to post that deck on our Reddit so that it can get some votes. Vote for your deck. Vote for other decks. Vote for decks that you think might be good. Give some comments, some feedback. The community seems to be all about wanting feedback on their decks, and that was really what I wanted when starting the Reddit, was a place that we could, post our decks. And yes, you do get a posting there on the Reddit every time I put out a video, but for the most part, it's also there for you guys so that we can post decks, that we can vote on those decks, we can get information. I'm going to use it just as much as you guys are, so I do appreciate the feedback on my decks, and I know a lot of you guys would appreciate feedback from the community on your decks. So, we won the dice roll. We're going to jump right into it here. We'll turn 1 Sun Petal Grove, turn 2 Attune, maybe? I mean, it's going to be a little bit slow, but we'll have everything we need. Yeah, sure, we'll do it. I mean, we're on the play. This is probably, like, not the greatest hand in the world, but, double decoction module, Aether Geode Miner seems real good to me. And we'll get the black mana on, for turn 3. Like, we may just be able to, like, go off. We need something to do with all the energy other than just bouncing a dude, but so we're going to be able to attune, there it is. There's what we do with all of our infinite energy. Okay, so we'll go ahead and attune for a forest. We'll play the forest, attune for a swamp. We don't need double white, do we? Not until we get to the rock. Okay. I'll try not to play this deck wrong. I mean, it is a deck that basically, I know you've all been there where you don't have a deck, your buddy hands you a deck and goes, "It's good." At least I get to lay it out and look at it and everything else beforehand. So I hope I don't just like butcher it, but by the looks of it, it looks like we've got a fairly strong start here. And there's another black source. I think I just want to get down some modules. I'm gonna try to go for some kind of like just combo when he can't do anything about it. So next turn we play Decoction Module, Aether Geode Miner, and at that point Aether Geode like can never be destroyed. This is good. So yeah, we'll play this. We'll play Aether Geode Miner. And I'm going to yield to this so we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, we can chump block. We can, yeah, as long as he doesn't have a board wipe, we are locked and ready here. And next turn we get to do another one, or actually next turn we get to do Architect of the Untamed. Is it enter tapped? No, it doesn't enter tapped. Okay. Wow. This is a powerful little interaction here. So I'm definitely going to be playing Architect. I'm going to be playing Architect after I know that I have, like, I'm gonna sandbag this Architect here. We'll probably just play out another Aether Geode next turn. So we block. We'll bounce. Man, that's good. And because we have so much energy, we could do it over and over if he tries to respond to it. It's so good. We can attack, bounce. Oh man, that's just killer, guys. Do we need this land or do we want to cycle it? Let's play another one. I like just, it's all creatures. So we'll, I guess we play the, we can hold up the land. We'll cycle that at end of turn. And we'll go ahead and get in for 3 here. Now, he has to target this just to keep himself from taking 3 damage. Man, that's the value. I'm gonna cycle here, and then next turn swing. Like, I don't think we're in any kind of rush. Like, we've got just blockers. We've got perfect interaction. We can cycle, make a 6/6 next turn. Man, we've got, there's just so much going on here. This is terrific. I like what you got going on here, Jansen. Like, maybe this hand was just really, really good. Double decoction module. But, you know, our opponent's like, how do I navigate through this? I mean, Glorybringer Exert. Okay, we bounce out of the Exert and block him. Bounce out of the... Wait a minute, we're not flying, are we? Ah, we're not flying. Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cycle. Alright, we just hit another land and another land. Okay, well, here we'll just play the untapped land. I'll go ahead and drop this fella. I guess I did that wrong. I should have played that, then played the land. I would have got the additional energy. We can do that at instant speed. We would need to be able to do both. Let's see how he attacks. Or how he blocks. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Wow. Just all the energy in the world. At least we got to, swing and get 4 more energy. Which means, another huge body. This is good. Abzan, huh? Wow. All right. You've definitely got me intrigued, Jensen. What do you guys think about it? I know I have talked about how much I think it's a good deck, but I, it may just be because I got this killer opening hand. Like, how often does this happen? Of course, this could have happened with a snake and this. Really? Okay. I'm going to make one. And I actually think I'm just going to go ahead and make another. He tapped out all of his red, so... Okay, he kills one of them. Jeez, this is so good. We'll block, we'll block, we'll move to damage, we'll bounce. Wow. I'm impressed. Like, everything just really come together, but this is Temur energy here going, how, like, it can't even touch us. Well, guess what, guys? That's game. I don't get to even show him this, because this is game. Alright, so let's do it. Alright, so we'll get fabrication module on, sure, this thing. And we're going to always yield to fabrication module. We're going to fabrication module this thing. Wow. The power. The combo went off first game. Very first game we played. Just comboed right off. No problem. I mean, I guess I could have been putting all of these on the 6/6. Man, this is just crazy good. So what do we got? We got quite a few damage here on the battlefield. Let's make sure these guys aren't like in any I shouldn't be bouncing. I shouldn't have put them on that one. I should have put them on the other one. My bad. It does not matter because we have it infinitely. And yeah, there we go. I am actually just having fun here. We're not even worried about blocks because everything has trample. All creatures have trample. So this is lethal? That's so good. And we can just pump some more like whenever we wanted to in response. Like it's it's a lock. Like a complete lock. we we had whenever this creature deals combat, draw a beast. Triggered ability called Beast. Okay. Killer guys. Oh, okay, the beast. It was the creature was a beast. Well, that was pretty good. What do we want here? Prevent all damage from a source. I don't know. I mean, I like if we get anything like what just happened, I don't know what to take out. Cast out seems good, but so would a fatal push or like a shapers. Mm, let's run it back. Let's just run it back. I don't. You're right, Trevor. Somebody's in trouble. We got a fabrication module. We got a cast out. I mean, we cycle that if we want. At least we have the attunes. Yeah, I kind of like this hand. It's a lot of land, but I like it. Yeah, that's actually really, really good. Wow, so I mean, we even get to have these powerful starts that are unlike. What do we want? The white? Yeah, if we play that next turn, we get. No, we're not going to be cycling next turn. We're going to be playing Glint Sleeve. We have a black. Yeah, let's get the white. We're good here. And then we'll just. I'm going to pass priority here so we can save a little bit of time. If we get into our interactions, you know, it's going to cost us a lot of time. Okay, against Cubs and Hydras. Alright. Well, if we go to game 3, I'll definitely do that. I just wanted to see if we could get this thing to fire off again. We actually have pieces of our puzzle. It's almost better to just start slamming pieces of the puzzle. But I do like me some Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Next turn, we can go... Wonder how fast he's going to be. If he's not fast, we can set up for just like a combo kill here. Do we set up for the combo, or do we just get the Glint Sleeve out and just start making him have to answer us? It's so questionable. Let's go with the Glint Sleeve. It's kind of like a long tusk cub check. They have to answer it, or we start drawing cards. Yeah, I'm assuming there's going to be a braid. But I would kind of rather have the braid on the Glint Sleeve than with the decoction module. In any other deck, I'd probably rather see it on the module than the Glint Sleeve. But here it's really vital to some cool interactions. Okay. Well, we didn't see a Glorybringer. We didn't see any of that. And it is Temur, though, so we can assume that it's there. But, yeah, I mean, just all the typical stuff. The main reason I ran it back was because I just wanted to see, like, how big of a fluke was that? Like, did we just... Well, absolutely I'm going to draw. Like, not for sure it was a fluke. Not for sure it was a fluke. Like, if we have time to get this stuff down, guys, we are going to have some fun. So let's go ahead and get in for 2. And honestly, I would like to Geode Miner and a tune? Or is it Decoction Module and a tune and just let him hit us here? And just save the Geode Miner until it's go time. Oh, he's just going to scoop! I think we had him anyway. Honestly, I don't really have time to run it back and start another game. But I'm pretty sure we would have just kind of... Ragnar Lothbrok. I'm pretty sure we would have kind of probably come out on top there on that one anyway. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to spend more time on this particular deck. But we might end up seeing this later, as it looks really, really sweet, and 2 games in a row we were about to fire off. From my math, we were going to have Decoction Module, Aether Hub there, then we could play a Geode Miner and anything else we wanted to on turn 4, and then turn 5 play the Decoction Module, the Fabrication Module, and kind of go off. Or we could have even held it to turn 5. Like, it looked like everything was there. So, Jensen, I'm sorry that we're not going to play any more of it today, but we might actually see this deck again here in the future, as this looks like a lot of fun. So, I might have to present this deck to the world in its own capacity here. I definitely going to say it impressed me. Now, to everyone else that has presented your decks, please don't give up on your deck. There's always next Sunday. And for today, though, I don't actually have any suggestions for this deck. It can answer a lot of the problematic questions, like, can you answer a long tusk cub? Can you, yeah, it can answer a long tusk cub. It could technically just indefinitely block a long tusk cub, which it also presents that answer to others. Can you provide trample to your deck to get through my infinitely bouncing blockers? Well, this deck can do that as well. So again, it's answering some of the questions that that we had about some of the other decks. The Fabrication Module just making things large, giving us a lot more removal than it actually appears to be. I'm definitely seeing the interactions here, and I think they're all terrific. Not necessarily sure that Lifecrafter's Bestiary even needs to be in the main deck. Maybe even just something else that might help out. I like the fact that the 1-drop module is not in the deck, because that is the part of the Tron that is just really not needed. But Driven to Despair looked like it was a lot of fun. And Lifecrafter's Bestiary may be better served in the sideboard and bring in maybe these Consulate Surveillance, because it looked like the more time we were given in a game, the closer to inevitability the deck was going to reach. So I really like the deck, and I'm probably going to see me play it at least once more in the future, if for no other reason than I don't feel that I gave it enough justice today. So to Bestiary to Mirage Mirror. I hate Mirage Mirror. I do. Mirage Mirror is like a great card, but it feels like a trap. Like, it's never exactly what I want it to be. And it's one of those cards that it's not going to do anything the turn it enters the battlefield. Technically, this could do something the turn it entered the battlefield. If you have an Aether Geode Miner, you can start doing tricks. Tricks aren't going to allow you to start triggering this. So I would like to see this spot, like, maybe move to the sideboard and then have something that could abuse it a little bit more. Maybe even just another Walking Ballista and a 3rd copy of Driven to Despair. I like Driven to Despair. It's card draw. But I do understand why you only need, a couple copies of it. You don't need it early. So that's my thoughts on the deck. I like the deck and plan on playing around with this idea in the future. So I'm going to definitely say thank you for bringing this to the community's attention. Okay, everybody, that is all I've got for today. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. We'll see you next time here on the Sideboard.